what an absolute tremendous fight we have here. Another 50-50 for the world title. Lewis Crocker and Liam Paro. Lewis Crocker making his first defence down under against the tough, slick southpaw, and Liam Paro, the man who has had that IBF belt before. But will he have enough in his arsenal to regain it? I think he does, but Lewis Crocker has a lot in his arsenal where he can retain it himself, which is why I do believe this is the perfect 50-50 fight. Now, with Lewis Crocker here, when you break down his last fight again, that lead left hook was the key in both knockdowns, which scored the 2 10-8s. Tremendous, the way he was timing it, where his speed, again, he landed, although he fell backwards there. His footwork's not the greatest, but he's always got that lead left hook or rear right hook, I should say, as an equaliser, which, I'll be honest, against Paddy Donovan, he's landing for fun. Don't get me wrong, Paddy Donovan won that fight, clearly. He should be 2-0 against Crocker, but again, boxing works in very, very interesting ways. You see there, he landed that left hook and he pivoted around. But then what happened is he landed shots of his own, and then you'll see as well, as soon as it came to the end of the round, what did he do? The exact same shot, because Paddy didn't rearrange and readjust. What did he do? Same simple tactics. Crocker times Paddy coming in once again, left hook, right on the chin, and it was another 10-8, which again, he done for fun all night long. In my opinion, didn't do enough to win the fight, but again, we have 2 10-8s on the scorecards, especially in your hometown. That is going to be a big factor. And with Paddy Donovan, he's a slick southpaw, and he fights the exact way as Liam Paro. You know, offensively he's great, defensively he's decent as well, but the same thing that Liam Paro does is he leaves his chin open, where when he's defensively minded, the amount of punches he dodges, parries, catches, but when he comes in forward, when he fights on the front foot, he is so open, hence the pair of them love getting countered, especially when they go on the front foot, no matter what fighter or what style. So with Crocker, if I'm honest, that left hook will be key, but one thing I'd say against Paro is he's got to up the volume. He can't be fighting at the same sort of volume that he did against Paddy Donovan in the second fight, because if he does, it could be a very, very, very clear 120-108 to Liam Paro. But Lewis Crocker, he is probably, with no disrespect to him, as good as he is probably, in recent years, one of the worst world title holders. And that is not any disrespect to the man himself, but he just makes British level fighters look like they're elite. I mean, this is a man who went life or death with Conor Walker. No disrespect to him as well, but he's British level at best. And I'll be honest, Conor Walker beat him, but again, dodgy scorecards. So he has had a few advantages his way to get in the position he has. But again, when you're fighting down under, when you're fighting in the other person's backyard, and you're not fighting in your own backyard, relying on scorecards, the crowd, dodgy decisions in the first and second fight, which gave you the win, then I guess we'll see what you're made of when you're in the Lion's Den, which Lewis Crocker hasn't really been in, because he's just only really fought in the UK, and when he has fought in England as well, he's fought people who haven't really got a big following, so it's not like he's jumping into the Lion's Den. But Lewis Crocker, hard hitter, smarter fighter than people give him credit for, but again, without his power, without his timing, he's a bog standard domestic level fighter. But when you look down at Liam Paro, for example, his last fight against Paro, again, he showed good signs, but he got caught too easy. You know, since the Matias win, he's just downgraded. You know, he's not kept that momentum. He's not still fighting at the same sort of level that he should have been, because Hitchens gave him boxing lesson. And since then, he's fought people around regional level who, if I'm honest, he hasn't really won convincingly. I mean, Navarro he won, but again, Navarro's not really anyone notable. But Paro, he's a fringe world level fighter. Yeah, he had Paro's legs like Bambi all over the place. Although Paro got the win, and you see there, he gets caught with clean shots, and defensively, he was all over the place. And if I'm honest, if Paro properly went for it, if he properly went for that knockout, properly went for that stoppage, by all means, Paro would have got stopped. But unfortunately, Paro, he went in too wild, wasn't cool, calm and calculated. But the thing is, there's certain fights where a fighter has where they're no longer the same fighter they were once upon a time, which I do believe is a factor in this fight. I do believe, as good as Paro is technically, I do believe he is on the slide, you know. He gets caught easy and he's getting hit with shots that he never got hit with before. So I do believe he's on the decline. And if I'm completely honest, I think it started with the Hitchens fight. I think the beating Hitchens gave him, the boxing lesson he gave him, just wore him down and broke him down. Bear in mind, Hitchens is not the biggest puncher. I mean, I know he broke down George Kambosos, who's a little C-level fighter who made his name for being a 10% Teofimo Lopez, but Paro's got more in his arsenal than Kambosos by a mile. So it is not, or how do I say, it's not a good sign, but at the same time, it can work to his advantage, because then he's more likely to commit, he's more likely to get involved, because I know he might get chinned if he does that. But then he's going to think, do you know what, if I'm going to be too cautious, I'm not going to throw as much, my output will be low, and Lewis will probably give him a beatdown, where if he goes for it, that's his best chance, in my opinion. Boxing and moving, you can do, but you got to mix on the back foot in the middle, and also, you do have to make it a bit ugly. Now, with Crocker, more volume punching, simple as that. With Paddy Donovan, in both fights, not enough punches thrown, which cost him both times in my eyes, but obviously I'm not the judge and I'm not the ref, so discussion for another day. But he does need to throw more punches and bunches and play possum on the back foot like he done in the second fight, because that's how he got them 2 10-8s on the back foot, letting him commit and then throwing that lead left hook that dropped in twice. And that pretty much goes back to the third point, lead left hook all night long, and then the fight's yours. With Paro, like I say, you got to make it ugly. You got to hit and hold, you know, land, hold, throw him about, you know, weigh yourself onto him, then land shots on the inside. That's the sort of fight you have to fight. And if I'm completely honest, body shots in my eyes is the equaliser against Lewis Crocker by a mile, because that's what done him in the first fight. Again, granted, obviously he landed that shot after the bell, but before then, if you look through the full fight, not highlights, the full fight, the amount of punishment he was taking to the body, that he just eventually just gave in, and that was just enough, you know. That was a big factor in my eyes, that it's something that can be exploited by many fighters. And I do believe, as good as Lewis Crocker is, both of them fights have shown a lot of weaknesses which other fighters can exploit. Same with Paro, which is why I think it's more interesting, because again, one's weak to the body, one's weak to the chin. One has much more power than the other, but one has more technical ability than the other, which is why I do believe this is an absolute proper 50-50 fight. But there's one man who I wouldn't say I massively favour, but I'd slightly favour, and that is the champ Lewis Crocker. I do believe he'll be victorious. I do believe he'll catch Paro with a few good shots. Again, method, I'm not going to go there, because again, Paro, he's a crafty veteran. I know he's been caught with a few good shots, but he's a crafty veteran. If he needs to survive the 12, he can. But at the same time, his chin's not been up to how it was in recent fights, so that also is a big factor. But I wouldn't be surprised if Paro does catch Crocker as well. But I do believe Crocker, he'll just be too big, too strong for him. I do believe he'll use his reach to his advantage, land them left hooks. I do think it'll be an entertaining fight. I don't think it'll be an absolute stinker, a bit like the second Donovan fight. But I do believe Crocker will gain that momentum, land a few good shots, pretty much just dictate the pace and tempo, and win the fight in dominant fashion.